In the autumn of 1982, America awoke to a chilling discovery. 7 people in the Chicago metropolitan area had died suddenly, united by a tragic and inexplicable connection. Each victim had ingested extra-strength Tylenol capsules laced with potassium cyanide, a deadly poison. Fear spread like wildfire. This wasn't a localized incident, it was a nationwide threat. The victims were ordinary people, young and old, struck down in their homes. The authorities were baffled. The deaths were swift, brutal, and seemingly random. The killer, or killers, remained invisible, their motives shrouded in mystery. Panic surged through communities. People emptied their medicine cabinets, afraid to touch anything that resembled the tainted capsules. The Tylenol murders weren't just a crime, they were an attack on public trust. Never before had a readily available over-the-counter medication been transformed into a deadly weapon. The invisible enemy in this case was fear itself, and it had infiltrated every home in America. Johnson & Johnson, the manufacturer of Tylenol, faced a crisis of unimaginable proportions. Their flagship product, a trusted name in millions of households, was now synonymous with death. The company's response was swift and decisive, driven by a deep sense of responsibility for public safety. Immediately they issued nationwide warnings, urging the public to cease using any Tylenol products. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, Johnson & Johnson took the unprecedented step of recalling all Tylenol capsules from store shelves. This massive recall, totaling 31 million bottles with an estimated value of over $100 million, demonstrated their unwavering commitment to consumer safety. It was a bold and costly decision, but one they believed was essential to protect the public and restore confidence. The company's CEO, James Burke, became the public face of the crisis, appearing on television and in newspapers to address the nation's concerns. His message was clear: Johnson & Johnson would not rest until the crisis was resolved and the public's trust was restored. In the wake of the Tylenol murders, the pharmaceutical industry underwent a seismic shift. No longer could product packaging be solely about branding and convenience. It had to prioritize consumer safety above all else. Johnson & Johnson, determined to prevent such a tragedy from ever happening again, spearheaded a revolution in packaging design. They introduced tamper-evident packaging features that would become standard across the industry. The once ubiquitous, easily compromised capsule form was phased out in favor of solid caplets, which were more difficult to tamper with. New bottles featured triple-sealed packaging, including an inner foil seal, a plastic neckband, and a glued carton lid. These measures were designed to provide visible evidence of any tampering, giving consumers greater peace of mind. This shift toward tamper-evident packaging wasn't merely a reaction to the crisis, it was a proactive step towards ensuring consumer safety in the long term. The Tylenol murders had exposed a critical vulnerability in the pharmaceutical industry, and Johnson & Johnson, through their decisive actions, led the charge in addressing it. Section 4. A new era of consumer protection. The Tylenol murders sent shockwaves through the halls of government, prompting swift and decisive action to protect consumers. The U.S. Congress passed the Tylenol bill in 1983, making it a federal crime to tamper with consumer products. This legislation, a direct response to the tragedy, established stricter penalties for those who sought to endanger public safety. The Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, also enacted strict guidelines for tamper-resistant packaging for over-the-counter medications. These regulations, designed to prevent future tragedies, mandated tamper-evident features for a wide range of products, ensuring that consumers could purchase medications with greater confidence. The Tylenol murders marked a turning point in consumer protection. The tragedy exposed the vulnerability of the existing system and served as a catalyst for comprehensive reform. The legislation and regulations enacted in the aftermath of the crisis continue to safeguard public health today, a testament to the enduring impact of this tragic event. Section 5. The Shadow of Doubt, Unresolved Questions. Despite exhaustive investigations, the Tylenol murders remained shrouded in mystery. While several suspects were investigated, no one was ever charged with the murders. The absence of a definitive answer has fueled speculation and debate for decades. One individual, James William Lewis, emerged as a person of interest. He was convicted of extortion for sending a letter demanding $1 million from Johnson & Johnson to stop the killings. However, despite the conviction, Lewis maintained his innocence in the poisonings, and no direct evidence linked him to the tainted capsules. The lack of a definitive resolution has left a lingering sense of unease. Theories abound, ranging from copycat criminals to disgruntled employees, but concrete evidence remains elusive. The Tylenol murders serve as a stark reminder that even in the face of tragedy, some questions may never be fully answered. Section 6. A legacy of safety lessons learned and enduring impact. The Tylenol murders of 1982 left an indelible mark on society, forever changing the way we think about product safety. The tragedy exposed the vulnerability of our systems and the devastating consequences of malicious acts. However, it also showcased the resilience of the human spirit and the power of collective action. The legacy of the Tylenol murders is evident in the countless lives saved by tamper-resistant packaging and stricter safety regulations. It serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance, both from corporations and individuals, in safeguarding public health. The tragedy spurred a revolution in consumer protection, one that continues to evolve and adapt to emerging threats. The events of 1982 forced us to confront the fragility of safety and the importance of trust in a modern society. While the scars of the tragedy remain, so too does the enduring legacy of vigilance, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to protecting the well-being of all.